Hello Knights fans, back with this week's edition of the FDU Men's Basketball Report as Coach Herenda and the Knights get ready for the season opener with 23rd ranked Seton Hall. Coach, as your team gears up for this big week of practices here, how's the team looked in practice?
Yeah, you know what, maybe we had a great practice today. We're taping it on Tuesday, I think, and the kids are, I think, once you get closer to it being real, I think the realness of your team and the players and the hype and just a little media contact that we've had, and I think it brings out the best in good players, and our players were really good today. But we're playing a really, really good team in Seton Hall. They're very, very experienced. They're talented. They're tough. They're well coached. They've been in big games. So it's we've got a major task in front of us, but our guys are really excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, you saw this team last year, and they're basically bringing everybody back. Kadeen Carrington and
Don't remind me. Don't.
And Desi Rodriguez and Delgado. Does it give you a little bit of a boost, I guess, knowing that you have seen these guys and have a little bit more of an idea of what you're working with?
I guess it does. There's some familiarity as opposed to, like, my first game here, we played Arizona, and I heard of those guys, and they're now in the NBA. But these guys, we know, and our players kind of know them, and we played them last year, and we played them tough. I mean, we were down 5 at the half, and then Darnell scores. We were down 3, but then they just distanced themselves from us. But I think being local is a common denominator. You know, the big bully on your block, you're not as afraid of because you know where he lives and he's human. And but these guys are, I mean, Kevin's put together a really, really good team, and obviously with Grant Billmeyer being there, we just have a lot of respect for them. But on Friday night, we're going to come out and go toe-to-toe, and I think we're going to bring a lot of fans, and games on Fox Sports Network, and it's going to be exciting. But it's, our first 72 hours are going to be, quite demanding on all of our players, especially our freshmen and our new guys. But we're jumping right into the hot water, and we'll see how we do.
Yeah, what have you told a lot of the freshmen? I wish we talked about them on the last episode. Jaleel Jenkins and Elijah Williams specifically are expected to be in the rotation. What have you really told them as they get ready to play on this big stage at Prudential Center?
Not much. We just tell them to do what we do, and if you start talking about, well, it's basketball, and there's, it's guarding and rebounding and executing. If we can just do those things and just stay in the game, then we'll have an opportunity. But I think these guys want it, man. They're I think the bigger the stage in this day and time, the better the performance for young kids. I think, and nothing against Manhattanville, but we played a Division III team here, and I don't know if they really were. I think they thought they were ready, but they still knew this is an exhibition Division III game, and a Big East opener is a different animal. And I think for our guys generally shine when we get in these kind of arenas, and I think Jaleel and we'll probably start. I don't know, Jaleel could start, and so could Elijah, and so we're gonna find out what they're made of. But I love what they're made of.
Yeah, you mentioned last year's game there. Only down 5 at the half. They did pull away a little bit there in the second half. Your team took 29 threes, which ended up being a season high for you guys.
Right.
Is that something you're going to try to get away from this year and get it inside more, or were you okay with that?
If they didn't have Delgado and Sonogo and the thing that they take away the paint really, really well, and a lot of those threes were good. Like Miller made 2 and missed 3 that were like point blank, naughty. We have good 3-point shooters, but obviously, Brian, we'd like to get the ball to the basket and get to the foul line. I mean, that's how you win basketball games. But if they're going to take the paint away from us, then we're going to have to kick it and make it open shots. And I told our players, and we had a poor exhibition game before we played St. Joe's, and then Mustafa Jones hit one of the biggest 3 of his life. Those shots are going to show on Friday. Now, we can't take them quickly and ill-advised, but when those shots show, you got to be ready for the moment. Mustafa was a fifth-year senior, but these guys are younger. But I think in order to beat Seton Hall, you have to compete with them in the paint, but you have to make some big shots, and I think we've got players that can do that.
I think the big focus of the paint from the outside perspective will be their highly touted big man, Angel Delgado, against the Knights' big man, Mike Holloway.
Right.
That's a matchup that's going to be a key. What do you think are the keys for Mike to battle against Angel?
I think Mike's just got to bring it to him and just play his game and not overreact. And I think and Delgado, the same thing. Delgado, he's been there. He's in a 1,000 club. So he's not going to overreact, but can't Mike either. Mike's just got to let it happen and take what the defense gives them and just be aggressive. And then if they take it away, let's go to the next pass and the next pass. But like I said, they're really well coached. They defend really well. So we're going to run our plays, and they're not going to be wide open. So we got to go to the next level of the play and then the next level of the individual. And I think Mike's really progressed. He's a junior now. He's our guy inside, and I'm looking forward to that battle. But it's going to be team versus team. But it's kind of a sexy matchup, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely one that's going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to watch it either. So you're about to embark on your 5th season here. You had 4 seasons. The one big thing is you've been a really difficult non-conference schedule in each of your 4 seasons. As you're set to embark on your 5th one here, what is one of the things you've really learned from those past 4 seasons?
That's a good question. I just do what you do. And then if it's going to happen, it's meant to be. There's some nights like, we just couldn't, I don't know, which is, Iowa. We could score with them, but we couldn't guard them. Rutgers, since they've added some good guards and Steve Peichel, it's hard to beat them. I think what I figured out, really, Brian, is that people don't sleep on us. So they're ready because, we've beaten Rutgers, we've beaten Seton Hall, we've beaten St. Joe's, we've beaten Princeton, and we've beaten Towson. So those are games that, to be quite honest with you, were financially advantageous for us. And to win those games and help your program and your athletic program is really hard to do, and we've done it. Now, I guess to answer your question, it's harder to do now because we've done it before. So it's people don't, we just talked about Halloween last week. No one gives away candy in this league and in college basketball. You have to earn it, and now that we've established ourselves to a point and won a championship, people aren't handing us anything anymore. We've got to earn it, and that's the way I like it.
Yeah, well, Seton Hall will be ready. You guys will be ready. It should be a great matchup on Friday.
Yes.
Any last things for the fans that are going to be in attendance? I know we have a big contingency coming. Oh, yeah. We do have Penn State coming up. That'll be on Sunday, in Happy Valley.
A big game for a lot of reasons. Number one, my wife is an alum. She's a Penn State alum. So and Darian Anderson's brother. So we're going to get back here probably 9, 10 o'clock at night on Friday, practice the next morning, and then we head out to Happy Valley while Penn State Rutgers football's going on, and then we play at 5 o'clock on Sunday. So it's, I think for a college basketball player, when you're going Big East, Big Ten, in the first 72 hours we'll find out what we're made of, and if we're 1-1 or 2-0 or 0-2. There's only 3 options, and if that's the case, and we happen to be 1-1 or 2-0, it'll be exciting around here. But at least at the end of the 72 hours, we'll find out who we are. We'll play some really well-coached, drilled, tough teams at high levels on television. So I think it's a great experience. And myself and Coach Hamburger helped put this schedule together. And I know it's a little bit daunting, but it's exciting. And the kids, I'll tell you one thing, Brian, the kids absolutely love it, and I think they're ready for it.
Yeah, is that kind of an advantage, you think, or is it a disadvantage, the quick turnaround? I mean, there's not a lot of time to lament about what happens Friday. You got to jump right back on the bus, head up to University Park, PA, and face off against a tough Penn State squad that's up and coming. You think it's an advantage, or does that kind of work against you? What are your positives and negatives to that?
It's just a reality, and I think it's fun. I think the players want to play games and win and lose, and so do the coaches. I love practice because I can control it. I schedule it. I know what's going to happen. In games, it's all about them and their opponent. And coaching is I don't have as much control. But for us to play 2 high-level games early, to me, is exciting. My first college basketball game was against Villanova down in the Cat House with Raul Massimino and Rory Sparrow. And I remember that game and my first 2 points because it was against Villanova and Rory Sparrow and Rolly Massimino. So I think for these guys, these are memories as well. But also, this is going to help us in March. It has before, and it will again. And our whole league is doing this. Everyone's playing high majors, and I think it's a great thing for the exposure for our team, for our players, and ultimately the Northeast Conference.
Yeah. Hopefully you can keep it running. You did win last time, your first time there at Prudential Center. You'll get a chance to play at the Bryce Jordan Center on Sunday, so 2 big arenas coming up. Good luck this week.
I appreciate it, Brian. Thank you.
So the Knights will head over to the Prudential Center on Friday for a 6:30 p.m. start against the 23rd ranked Seton Hall Pirates. 2 days later on Sunday, it'll be a 5 p.m. start up against Penn State. For all information and all results, head to fduknights.com.